everybody, my name is Matt Bush. That's my dog, Sue. I'm an actor. You may know me from movies, TV, movie Adventureland. I'm currently on ABC's The Goldbergs on Wednesday nights, at least here in the US. You probably know me most as Pete Kovальский from the 2006 Rockstar video game Bully. And this is my Q&A. Before we get going, a little housekeeping. I just want to thank Swegta for hosting this and making this happen. Yeah, also follow me on Instagram. My handle is @itsmattbush. DM me like Mac did. I love hearing from you guys in the Bully community. I try to answer everyone and repost all the fun fan art and stuff of Pete. All right, let's dig into some questions, huh? Okay, we could start with this one. This one came up a bunch. The Spank Me scene. What's the deal with that? So, the Spank Me scene, I guess in the trailer for the game, there is a moment where Gary goes, spank me, or something like that.
Oh, young love is such a beautiful thing. Oh, spank me!
And I guess it didn't make the final edit of the game, and I guess you guys are wondering what that is, if I know what that is. To be honest, I didn't know at first, because look, we shot this in 2005-ish, the summer of 2005. But what I did do is I went through my old emails, and I found the original shooting scripts of Bully. And I went through it, and I did find Gary's line, spank me, and it's from a mission called The Paddle, and it's basically Jimmy and Pete hanging out in the dorm trying to figure out a way to get back at the jocks. Gary comes in, he says something very Gary-like, how Jimmy and Pete maybe, dominating each other or something and spanking each other. And that gives Pete the idea that maybe to get back at the jocks, they could steal their paddle, the prized paddle. That's where that line comes from. So the first one is, Matt, has anyone ever recognized your voice and said, oh God, it's Pete Kovальский? No, no one has recognized my voice from any of my voice acting stuff, which is not great. I don't know. I don't know what that says, but yes, no one has recognized my voice as Pete. Not in person anyway, but I will get fun messages and stuff from when I do other things like on the Goldbergs, and then when people make that connection like, oh, you did Bully, you're Pete. That's always fun. What was Pete's code name / previous name in production? At least as far as I know, it was always Pete. It's Jaxie asked, how was it working with Rockstar? And after Bully, did they keep in contact or did they just let you go? Meaning, did they ask you for any more voice acting for future games? Rockstar was awesome. It was one of my very first jobs. I was still kind of green, and I did some commercials, and I feel like maybe I had done an indie movie at that point. When I was cast in this, they had this, at least at the time, they had this really big facility in Long Island. That's where they did all the mocap and stuff. And it was really cool to see something, that felt very big budget. And they were really nice and great. It was a lot of fun. The mocap was fun, and then doing the actual tracks, and then also shouting out to Jimmy the ways to giving him his hints and stuff.
Hey Jimmy, help me get to the crane!
Yeah, so after we did the mocap, I was brought back a couple months later to do the actual VO stuff in another facility, I think in their offices in New York maybe. You're in the booth with cans on your ears and you do the lines and you'll get some direction. And they also had a camera pointed at my face, so I guess to kind of see what my facial expressions were too. Back then, the mocap was just limited to very broad body movement. Now you're able to capture facial expressions and all kinds of stuff, way more detailed. I have not done any future Rockstar games not yet. Emily Mulligan asked, have you stayed in contact with any of the voice actors from Bully? Sort of. Peter Vack, who played Gary. I haven't seen him in a minute, but we run in similar circles, so we'll kind of pop in and out, or I'll work with someone that has worked with him or is friends with him, but I haven't seen him in a minute, but I'm a huge fan of his. I don't know if you've seen some of his recent work. He's still an actor, but he's starting to be making his own films and things, and I caught one of his features at South by Southwest 2 years ago. That was really, really cool. It's polarizing. It's really gross, purposely so, and I thought it was brilliant. Definitely hard R. So make sure you're of the right age and prepared if you want to seek that out. But yeah, and then some of the other actors like Charlie Saxton, who played Melvin. I didn't get to work with him on the day, like when we were shooting this. Same thing with Baron Vaughn, who played Tad. I've worked with both of them since then, and I'll run into them every now and again here in Los Angeles, and they're both incredibly talented, really nice guys. But like I said, I don't think we actually worked together when we did this game. Who was your favorite character in Bully besides Pete? That is an easy one. It's Gary. Gary is like such a bad guy.
I've got a good idea for some fun. Let's go out and torment someone really helpless and unfortunate. That homeless guy. Come on.
And I'm definitely of the school of thought that bad guys are the most interesting characters. I rarely get to play a bad guy. Maybe that's where it comes from too, is I'm a little jealous. But Gary's so much fun, and I think Pete killed it.
See you around, moron!
Did Pete ever have any interesting bits that were removed before release of Bully, such as dialogue or story? That's from Skank Hunt 42. No, not that I remember. Everything that I ended up shooting or doing the VO for the most part, had made it into the game. You know, all the things that really stick out to me. Anyway, the Dog Squad writes, how did you get a job voice acting Rockstar games? I got the audition, just like anything else, just like a commercial or a feature or TV show. Only this one was a little bit different. This was the first time that it was kind of secret. So I knew it was for a video game. I didn't know it was for Rockstar. I didn't know it was for, obviously, a game called Bully. There was just a scene or scenes, something like that. That I prepared, and it was basically like a normal audition. The only difference was in the room after we did the scene, and maybe they gave me an adjustment, I don't remember, but they asked if I could walk. Like walk towards the camera, walk away from the camera, left, right, now pick up the pace. It didn't really make sense to me at the time. I thought it was weird. I've never been asked to do that in an audition, but obviously in hindsight, it was because of the mocap. They wanted to see how I moved in the character, and would that translate in the video game. And then I got the call, or the email, whatever it was, that I was cast, and it was a lot of fun. And we did the mocap in about a week, I think it took, something like that. Were you like Pete at that age? Nah, not really. Kinda. Certainly I wasn't the bully. Do I relate to him a lot? A little bit. There's shades of me. Overall, not a ton. I definitely feel like I had a little more confidence in myself than Pete did. He's definitely hard on himself, and maybe rightfully so, I don't know. Certainly if I had to choose who was I most like, Pete, Gary, or Jimmy, it would be Pete. Steve from Latvia asks, question, what's your favorite quote from the game, both Pete and other characters? Oh boy. Oh man. There was one line that I kind of remember where Pete says something like, and I'm gonna just butcher this line, you guys, because it's been how many years? But something like, let me set it up. It's a scene with Jimmy, and he's upset because everyone has kind of left him a little bit, and he goes, I'm all alone now, and Gary was a dick, and you're a psychopath, but now I'm like, not cool enough to be this, and too dorky to be anything else. Something along those lines.
Hey, Pete. Where is everybody?
Oh, Jimmy, it's you.
Yeah?
Guess you want to kill Gary now that he's turned most of school against you, and got those rich kids to throw eggs at you.
Gary'll get what's coming to him. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Well, you're sitting around watching TV by yourself like a loser. Someone crap in your bed? What's wrong?
Well, for one moment, I had friends. Just one moment. You and Gary. Yeah, Gary's a snake, and you're a psychopath.
Come on.
You both bullied me mercilessly, but at least I wasn't left out. And now I'm back on my own, and I'm too cool to be a dork, and I'm too dorky to be anything else.
I remember really liking that line and that scene in particular. Aka Faka asked, would you like to be in the new Bully game? The next one is, do you think Bully 2 sequel is inevitable? Okay, so there's a bunch of questions about Bully 2. Yes, I would like to be in a Bully 2 game. You have to understand, guys, when I'm sure you're asking actors and stuff about Bully 2. Not saying there is a Bully 2, but even if there was a Bully 2, you know, we wouldn't be legally allowed to say yet, right? I'm not saying there is one, but if I did have any information about a sequel, I would hope that I'd be able to share it really soon. Maybe on Instagram, maybe if I had some information, I will share it if and when I can. That's all I'll say about that. Instagram is @itsmattbush. Architect PvP asks, were you the first to be chosen to voice Pete? Yes, as far as I know anyway. I know that the actor that I did the mocap with for Jimmy's character was different than the actor. I know that he was replaced by another actor who did the voice of Jimmy, and that just happens. We've all kind of been there where we've been let go or the character's changed or something and we've been replaced. As far as I know in terms of for this job, I think I was the first to be cast as Pete, the only person to play Pete. Yeah, I'm very thankful that I got that job and I get to have this piece of art and talk to you guys about it. Trashman asks, has Pete's character somehow affected you as a person, or maybe you portrayed Pete as yourself? To be honest, like not really. I think certainly when you're working on a project and you're playing a character, that character definitely sits with you for a minute. You know what I mean? It may take some time to kind of shake that off, and I'm sure this was no different. Maro Perchia says, hell yeah, my favorite underrated character. Thanks, man. That's pretty cool. Love to hear that. Question, how do you feel about your character after getting to know his personality and dialogues? I liked playing Pete. I like where he ended after the first game. I wish he was able to have a little more confidence in himself. That's all, for his sake. Not necessarily for the game or for the story's sake, but just like, you know, as a guy, I would just be like, hey man, have some confidence, believe in yourself a little bit, you know? Stand up for yourself. He does show moments of that though, where he does kind of stick up for himself a little bit, and I loved that.
Oh, I see you've met the dorm's mascot. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Femboy, the girliest boy in school. Petey, haven't you got some imaginary friends to go annoy?
Why don't you leave me alone, Gary?
Look at you. Leave me alone, Gary. I'm really self-important now that I finally hit puberty.
Question, what is your favorite scene from Bully? I do like the very first scene, Pete's introduction. I like that. That was also my first, we shot a lot of these, if I remember correctly, sort of in order, which is rare as an actor. You're usually shooting things totally out of order based on schedules and location availability, things like that. But because this was all in one room, you know, in a mocap room, you can kind of do it in any order you want. And I remember that being one of the, if not the first, one of the first scenes that we shot. You know, that one definitely sticks out. Toy Chest Ghost, Matt, if you were approached to reprise your role as Pete for a sequel, would you take the job? Yes, I would take the job. Curd, hey Matt, here's my question to you. What was going through your mind when Rockstar offered you the job to voice Pete? I was psyched because I'm a huge Rockstar fan. I love GTA. I think San Andreas had just come out around there. I remember that Bully had sort of been announced in some way, and there were kind of protests happening, like an organization that was worried that they knew that there was going to be a Rockstar game that took place in a high school, and they were afraid it was basically going to be like a GTA, you know, shoot 'em up in a high school, which is super dark. Totally get why, you know, moms would be worried about that. There were like protests, small ones, but outside of the Rockstar headquarters, and I remember having to go there, I don't remember why, to maybe do a read through or sign paperwork or something. People outside kind of angry, and that was like, oh man, that's kind of I hadn't seen that before. And then you go into the offices and there's like this big Rockstar like logo mural thing at the front with a bunch of kind of memorabilia. Just everything looked so new and expensive and cool. And because I was a fan of the company and their games, it was really rad. It was really exciting. Llama77 asked, my question is, have you ever tried playing Bully? If so, how did you find the game? Yes, I have played Bully. I played it when it first came out. I played it with my brother, actually. We played it at the same time, like together. And I loved it. I loved it, man. It's a little weird listening to yourself and seeing yourself, but it was a fun game. It's Rockstar, man. They kill it. They kill it every time. Plastic Cookie, did you have a limp while doing the motion capture for chapter 1? In the game, it seems Pete has a limp. Yo, I got this question a bunch, actually, as I was scrolling. I feel like we're gonna start getting repeats, and this is definitely one I got. A lot of people ask this. Guys, a limp? Did I really have a limp? Look, totally unintentional if I had a limp. If anything, it's probably because, like I said before, it's chapter 1, so we kind of did it in a little bit of chronological order. And if anything, it's maybe because I was getting used to the sort of spandex mocap golf ball suit. Maybe that's why I have a little bit of a limp. Super embarrassing, you guys. Did not mean to have a limp. Bummer that so many people clock that. This is from Coco BC. Have I ever heard of the Feels Pete Man meme? No, I haven't. Feels Pete Man meme? No, guys, I have not. That's a new one. I want to see that. DM me that. I want to see what that looks like. Cool. Cool. I hope it's a good meme. Before I say cool, it's a good meme? I don't know. Throw that my way. I'll be the judge of that. Joseph Steiner said, did you get paid a good amount of money for being one of the lead roles? I'm like, guys, don't ask about money. I got paid with a good time and a little bit of money, but mostly it was the memories we made along the way. Louise asked, why did Pete have a little limp? Come on. God, little limp. November Man. Question, have you ever been bullied in school like Peter was in Bully? I think everyone has, I think most people get bullied in some way at some point in their life, or they may still do. I was still am, a smaller human, smaller framed person. So I certainly have gotten my share of jabs. I still do on social media. In fact, my role on the Goldbergs, the characters make fun of my character's height all the time. Pete definitely got it way worse than I did. You kind of have to take it in stride and first off, don't bully other people, because why? You know what I mean? And just be, this is gonna sound like a little bit of a cop-out, but be proud of who you are. Be confident and be proud. And anything that you maybe at first perceive as a hindrance, you know, is the word, you know, turn that into a positive. Turn that into a thing that you can embrace and make work for you.
But I want you to stop bullying weak kids.
Why?
Because there are a bunch of kids around this place who need a beating, and you're picking on the few who don't. So I want you to leave me and him alone.
Elmer Fudd, eating grilled cheese. Yo, that's a cool name. Question, do you have a specific favorite moment from your time working on Bully? And if not, what do you think of the overall experience? Overall, it was a great experience. There's some moments that I remember not even related to the actual shooting. It was in Long Island, so we all had to take most of us were coming from the city, New York City. We had to take the railroad to Long Island, and then where it dropped you off, you had to walk pretty far. This is before Uber and stuff, to the mocap, where they were doing the mocap and they were shooting, and it was in like August and it was super hot and it was a pretty decent walk. So I remember a lot of the actors, we were bonding over this experience of just having to get to the place, you know what I mean? God, I sound old. Oh, when I was your age, I had to walk 2 miles in the snow. But whatever, it's true. We had to walk in the heat and we bonded over it. Gucci Tom asked, did Pete have any strange character changes down the times of making the game? I guess you're, okay, did Pete change at all? Pete did not change, especially looking at the original script and then what had made it into the game. It was pretty locked in. Certainly sometimes in some projects, characters may, for whatever reason, may shift or get massaged in a certain way, but Pete stayed pretty consistent. When is Bully 2 going to be released? new one. What's your favorite game ultimately before Bully came out? Before Bully came out, it was probably Majora's Mask for the N64. I'm a huge Zelda fan too. I'm still playing, which you guys can relate to, I'm still playing Red Dead. My wife and I are playing we still play every night. Red Dead, and then I'll also toggle to play Breath of the Wild. Those are like my two big franchise companies that I just go back and forth. Zelda franchise, and then virtually anything Rockstar puts out is like, off boy, Tiger King, to Matt, hi, love your work as Pete and Bully. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I want to ask, what do you think about the feels Pete Man and Bully fan base? And this is the meme, huh? Guys, I don't know this meme. You gotta send me this meme. I don't know it. I'm a little nervous now. It's the second person asking. Here's a new one. Hey Matt, has Bully ever been brought up on set while filming The Goldbergs? That's a good question. It hasn't. No. But we do talk about Red Dead a lot. Especially when it came out last year. We were like in it together and like texting at night. We'd go to work, we would shoot, and then we would all come home to our respective places and be playing, and then texting each other what we did and what we found and all that kind of stuff. Can you say 2 of Pete's lines? Ooh, I'm scrolling. I'm gonna find a line here. Let's go to the first one. Let's just do it. Hey, how you doing? You're the new kid. I'm Pete Kovальский. Huh? How's that, guys? Close? Do I sound kind of the same? Let's see here. Yep, there's a limp question. Okay, yeah, what are you working on now? Yeah, I think I said I'm working on The Goldbergs on ABC. Check that out. We actually premiere tonight, but this is gonna be posted way later. But yeah, check out the new season, it's on now. Oh, here you go, here's a fun one. Hey Swag, try speed running with the first person mode. Oh, that's to you, bud. That's to you, not even to me. Here we go, this is related. Hey, wanted to ask if you and Matt Bush can both play speed run of Bully. Love from India. Yeah, I would do a speed run. You guys wanted to see it? I would love to do that. Spiketa, I would do it if you wanted to do it too. You let me know.
This is gonna be something they'll never forget. Wait, Jimmy, don't forget about Gary. Wait for me.
How was that, guys? Pretty good? I had fun. I hope you had fun doing it and watching it. Like I said, DM me on Instagram. It's Matt Bush. I love talking to you guys. If I didn't get to your question, I apologize. DM me and I will do my best to answer it. Thanks again to Mac for connecting me with Swagta and all that you guys do. I appreciate you guys loving the game so much, man. I love you guys. And thanks. Talk to you guys later.
Not bad, Pete. Not bad at all. All right. See you around.
Wait, Jimmy, can I come too? You know what? Don't worry about it.